next pause point is 25 seconds. And it's the eyes. Oh, I want to say before we talk about her eyes, and maybe this is a totally girly thing, but I was really excited to see the back of her head because I liked seeing how she had that sort of side braid going along the side of her hair. I thought that was really beautiful. And I liked, so that's really lame and dorky, but I thought it was really pretty.
There was another movie that had hair like that. Was it Princess Bride? I don't remember. Somebody else had
I don't
hair
remember
like
either.
That, braided around her head. No, I think it was actually Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. Right? She had her hair braided on the side and connecting in the back.
Yeah, I thought that was really lovely. Okay, so her eyes. Sam, you created these like giant screen captures that I think are all up and down with the Capitol, and so maybe Sam or Theresa or Mary or someone from down with the Capitol, why don't you tell us what you noticed when you looked at this blown up still of this scene or of this frame?
Sam noticed it first when he did. He's the one, he noticed it and said something, so he needs to say.
Well, I was doing the screenshots on the 1080 size of the high-res trailers, and I noticed when that one clip, that one frame, when you can see her looking straight forward, you can see the outline of, it's definitely a person, but I don't know if it's like a cameraman or if it's set up to look like another tribute or what it is. My first thought was it was a cameraman, but it kind of turned into a theory game that we've been playing all day.
This is earth-shattering. This is like groundbreaking news if anybody hasn't heard this. Who is in Jennifer Lawrence's eye reflection?
Could it be Thresh? Because there's that scene, when he sort of discovers her alone in the forest and then spares her life.
I thought that was at the cornucopia. Wasn't that at the
Was
feast?
that at the cornucopia?
Yeah, that was after the feast.
Okay. I thought she was in the woods for some reason.
We asked
remember, he saved her from Clove.
Right, and then he cut her a break.
No, we asked on Twitter. I posted this earlier today from the Down at the Capitol Twitter, and I asked them, like, okay, so, what are your theories? And we got a lot of people saying, well, someone said, it's a cameraman. Well, it's not a tribute because a tribute doesn't need to be there, but it's a cameraman acting like a tribute. And then we had people saying, well, the stance, looking at the image, that the way they're standing, it's not the way a cameraman would stand. And then we had someone say they don't see a camera, so they don't think that's what it is. And then we had someone say that it's too deliberate to be a cameraman, that they thought that it, that's too big of a mistake when they know they're going in on her eyes to have that there if it's not supposed to be there. And then we had somebody say it was a ghost. So that was hilarious. There was some good conversation
one of our
going
great
on.
listeners.
All about a second,
go ahead.
I really like the fact that she has freckles on her nose. I just thought that was really cute. I kept going,
I'm
look,
seeing
she
a
has
lot of
freckles on her
comments
nose.
about the freckles. I appreciate that as someone who's freckles a little bit in the sun. So we have to band together.
So.
Freckled people. I just want to say Derek Jackson82 on Twitter, who's one of our best supporters of the show, he said, I always thought of the Truman Show when thinking of the cameras. And I think that's a especially good point when you're looking at these scenes. For those of you who haven't seen the Truman Show, basically Jim Carrey's character's entire life he's been viewed. And there's a little bit of that level of voyeurism here as well. And I try to think, where are the cameras? Where could they be located? But they could be anywhere in the trees, or, the Capitol has a certain level of technology, presumably, to keep them hidden. Have any of you thought about that, where the cameras might be?
Yeah, well, if they say that they have MP3 players the size of glitter, then they could have very, very small cameras, or like the Truman Show where it's built into the scenery, so it's there, but no one ever has an idea that it is there.
Right. And among other things that might be there, our friend Jet from the Philippines and her friends from Hunger Games Philippines say if you look closer, maybe PETA is hidden in the forest floor. Maybe this is before she locates him. So if anyone has incredibly high-resolution computer, maybe you can try to see if you can spot Josh Hutcherson somewhere in the grass there, maybe in his camouflage. So that's all food for thought. Shall we go on to the next
Sure.
portion?
So our next pause point is 29 seconds. Okay, any comments? She's walking again through the woods.
I got really excited when I saw the sheathing of her arrows. Like, I was expecting her to try to shoot at something, but just, like, the whole demeanor of her walking, I just kept thinking, wow, this is Katniss. Like, there is nobody else that can pull this off at this point. She's like, Jennifer Lawrence is Katniss.
Just before that, though, you got to remember, you start to hear, I mean, not talking about the visuals, just a couple seconds before that is when Gale starts to talk. And the first thing I was listening, and I'm like, at first I was like, that doesn't sound like Liam, because I've been watching so many videos of him recently for us looking for, like, video archives and stuff, so all I've heard him is talking in his Aussie accent. So I was listening to it, and I'm like, wait a second, that's Liam. It took me a second, though. But I saw somebody mention today, I'm not sure, I think it was in one of the movies.com pieces that somebody had said that, he didn't have a Southern accent. So,
yeah, I brought that up.
Yeah, I had actually,
right.
In my original draft, I had mentioned something about that as well, but I decided to cut it out just to reduce the number of words I had. But I immediately noticed that because I had been wondering this entire time if they would be using Southern accents. I'm a little disappointed just because I feel like that sort of became like a canon thing for me just because we heard Suzanne Collins reading the book in that way. But I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm sure they had a good reason for not going that route. Maybe it would have sounded too fake. I don't know.
Well, this was my issue that I mentioned to a bunch of you on Skype last night, that when you take Australian actors, the American English never quite matches up. So I think it's a real challenge to then go and do a Southern accent, although it has been done before. But when they speak in sort of what they think is a regular American English, it often sounds a little bit almost New York-ish on certain syllables. And that was the sense that I got from Liam Hemsworth's voice, that he was almost like a boxing coach from Brooklyn coaching his fighter or something like that, instead of from Appalachia, which is where he probably should be from. But I guess, all things considered, if it's that or the orange backpack, I'd rather have the orange backpack.
Oh, jeez. So you know what this means, right? One of you that knows how to speak in a Southern accent has to say Gale's lines in a Southern accent so we know what it's supposed to sound like.
But I don't think that we all sound Southern either. I mean, maybe just because I've lived here for so long, but I don't think we all sound like, we all are screaming y'all down the street either. So.
Can you say right now, you're stronger than they are? Say that. You're stronger than they think you are.
Say it again. I didn't hear you, Adam.
What was it? What was the exact line? What are Gale's lines?
Yeah, who has a transcript of this?
I think it's you're stronger than they are.
Yeah, that you're stronger than they are.
Okay,
you're stronger than they are?
Yeah,
you're stronger than
amazing.
they are?
That's it. That's what we're looking for.
It's a bit feminine there, Adam.
Listen to me. You're stronger than they are. Wow. Will you say they just want a good show?
They just want a good show.
Okay, this is ridiculous.